Welcome back to the Traders Network Show, broadcasting worldwide on equities.com. I'm your host, Matt Bird. We're here in Davos, Switzerland, covering the 2019 World Economic Forum. And my next guest is Sasha Ivanov, CEO of Moscow-based Vostok. Sasha, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Matt.
So, Sasha, there's a lot of stuff going on. We chatted briefly yesterday, but there's a lot of stuff going on here in Davos. We're seeing definitely a decline in attendance, but I think we're seeing more quality output and more quality outcomes here on the street, at least. Where do you see blockchain going? What's the future of blockchain?
I think the future of blockchain is quite bright. It's all just starting up, actually. So what we had before was a hype, and it was a little bit unsubstantiated. And what we have now is like normal development. And for us, it's very good because we started doing blockchain around 4 years ago, before the hype, and hype was not so good for us. After it's over, we can move forward actually faster than we could have done before.
You know, you're dabbling in a lot of different sectors. You're growing at an exponential rate. What are the hottest sectors right now for blockchain? I mean, from an organization standpoint, what companies should be looking into blockchain from the supply chain, from ERP, from any technical aspect?
Yeah, so blockchain is actually a very like basic technology. So it can be used by any kind of business, and it's basically a database. So what business could use a database? Basically any kind of business. So just a new type of a database. So for some businesses, decentralization might be more interesting than for the other. I think that now it's time for enterprise and government applications to look deeper into blockchain, and we can see a huge interest for the technology, and some projects are starting actually to work, not only to be in some pilot stages, but you have some projects in production. So I think it's like enterprise sector which can make the most benefits and profit from using blockchain technology now.
You know, there's a few organizations right now that have been able to crack the government veil. We see Mauritius, we see Bermuda, we're starting to see it in the European Union. How is blockchain being adopted in Moscow right now and within Russia? Is it being accepted widely? Is it having the same roadblocks that a lot of the other countries are having? I mean, talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I think the problems with blockchain in Russia is the same as in any other countries, because you have this understanding barrier which you have to actually go through in order to start accepting and using the technology. So people have the same problems, and there is a huge interest for blockchain because people can see the potential, but there is this understanding barrier that prevents projects from fast implementation. So we are working with very different companies in Russia and also worldwide.
Can you give me an example of some successful implementations? We hear a lot of case studies, but obviously, I mean, use cases, but case studies is really where everything's going at right now.
So we are working, for example, with real estate agencies, government, state real estate agency, and for them it could make sense to bring all those different databases into one ecosystem where you have everything based on the blockchain. And also we are working with companies, for example, that do trains, yes, and there is some kind of prediction for the functionality of the train when they need to maintain the trains, and they have to predict when the train could actually get broken. So there is some kind of prediction algorithm combined with big data, Internet of Things, and when you combine this with blockchain, it makes total sense, and you have some synergy. So, yeah.
So, from an enterprise side, we interviewed a lot of people on the blockchain yesterday, and it seemed that there are two sides of blockchain from what we can understand. There's the enterprise level integration, and then there's the front end user integration. And what we've seen is decline of successful outcomes, at least on the business model side, on the front end, because you really have to build a network. Where it's starting to look like success on the user aspect is going to be integrating into the enterprise stack, and then the enterprise deploying to the front end user. What do you think about that? Do you think that that's the direction it's all going to go? That corporations are going to have to adopt it before users are going to start, using it to create, value that wasn't there before?
Yeah, probably. So when you do business, you have to do with with enterprise, with corporations. So, but if you don't change anything in your business models here, if you are just try to do the same what you have done before, but on the blockchain, probably it wouldn't make too much sense. I think you need to use the technology, but also you need to use all the good ideas that emerged within blockchain ecosystem, an open blockchain ecosystem. And what we, for example, do, we try to bring those ideas over to enterprise. So we had a successful open blockchain project, and we are still developing it. It's called Waves, and it's a pretty big cryptocurrency blockchain platform. And we are trying to actually somehow tweak it and somehow adapt it for enterprise usage. And it's not only tech, but also some ideas, for example, tokenization and similar things that can make sense and that actually show us that it's not only about the blockchain, it's about the next generation of internet technologies. It's about Web 3.0, so it's not about the blockchain, it's about something bigger now.
We're going to cut to a commercial break, but I'd like to talk more about Web 3.0 and Web 4.0. There's a lot of talk about creating decentralized internets and what that looks like. You've got a depth of knowledge that's it's far superior than most people out there when it comes to blockchain. So let's cut to the commercial break. We'll be right back of the Traders Network show. Don't go away.
Forum is brought to you by Salt, providing fintech solutions for digital assets. Visit them at saltlending.com. Special thanks to Russia House and rosscongress.org for hosting our show here in Davos in the World Economic Forum. And a special shout out to Burst IQ for their expert commentary in blockchain and technology. And thank you, 1-800 Public Relations, for all your PR and media support. We'll be right back after these messages. Don't go away.